Hi, welcome to Ask Jeff, where you ask questions and then I offer my opinion, answer, and those questions can be whatever you want them to be. This is a kind of a special edition, though, because this has to deal with The Chosen. And we're releasing it kind of right on the heels of an event that has taken place and just prior to Easter. The Chosen, you may be familiar with, is a story of Jesus as seen through those that he chose to follow him. And it's a very creative television show. They're in their third season now, and it's getting a lot of acclaim, and it's very, very well done. And so here's the question, or a summary of the question. Jeff, have you seen the vandalized Chosen billboards? And the website it links to is creating quite a stir among the fan base, some good, some bad. Was the deception of the billboards getting vandalized and resulting in website and video honoring of what God would want them to do to expand the viewership of the show? Now, that's a summary of the question. There's a little bit more to it than that. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, I'm sure that in just a second you're going to see an image pop up here on the video that will explain this. You'll see the Chosen billboards, or the advertising billboards, are taking out, and they appear to be vandalized. Not only are they vandalized, they are spray painted, and there's a website that's listed on it. It says The Chosen Sucks, S-U-X, and then it takes you to that website, and you can actually go then to that website, and it looks as if these billboards have been vandalized, and there's a counter Chosen website that's been put up. And all of it looks very, very real, except for the fact that the producers of The Chosen, the publicity team of The Chosen, did it. And it's part of an advertising campaign, a promotional campaign that somebody came up with, wasn't announced. They wanted the surprise factor, and they got it. And so people who are fans of The Chosen saw the billboards. They were ticked off about it. They thought, "Oh my gosh, how rude!" They have now ridiculed one of my favorite shows. They have defamed the name of The Chosen and Jesus in the process. And then there's this whole website, Chosen Sucks, and you go there and you see a video that's there, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And so then the question is it a way to honor God and how they would want to expand the viewership of the show? That's an interesting question because there's a whole lot of like and dislike and personal preferences that come into play here. But I'm kind of a fan of doing things that are edgy to get attention. I go back and I hasten back to what Paul said in the New Testament. You know, I'll become all things to all men so that one might hear. I think there's value in that. And because The Chosen is such a phenomenon, had such a following, and with so many people waiting for this third season to come out, and with Easter time coming and this billboard campaign starting, I think the shock and the awe and the wow and the ooh factor when they put them up, I give them credit for that. It's kind of creative. I can understand the reaction to it. If you feel like someone is defaming or defiling what is something that you really appreciate and love, it really hacks you off. But Dallas Jenkins certainly took that into consideration. But then if the goal was to try to reach another fan base or to expand the fan base or to jumpstart some publicity beyond the existing fan base, which after about 2 or 3 seasons sometimes is important, I think he pulled that off. And so I wasn't offended by it. I like the edginess of it. I like the reaction that it got. At the end of the day, I saw some comments and stuff, and somebody didn't like, the fact that they had done it with Jesus on the billboard. Then I would just remind you that that's not really Jesus; it's an actor. And so nobody really did anything to Jesus along the way, and nobody did anything to his billboard. It was actually just a billboard advertising The Chosen, and they did it to themselves. As a result, though, they have gotten a lot of publicity. So I don't have a problem with that. And if you don't like it or it's not your personal preference, I can completely understand that. It's edgier. But you know what? The show itself, the program, is done with a quality that is so good, and it tells the story of Jesus in such a compelling, powerful way. If that's what it takes to get a new audience, okay, why not? Jesus always was hacking people off, right? And we often read in the Bible how it was the non-religious folks that seemed to like him and gravitated to him more than the religious folks did. And so this is a little bit of a shakeup in the fan base, and that's okay as well. Again, personal preference, comfort level, I completely understand that. But I'm not going to beat him up too much for that. Again, I guess I'm even going to give him props for giving that a shot. The second part of the question, though, is interesting because if you go to the website, which I did, there's a video there. When you watch the video, well, let me just read you the question here. The video depicts a scene in hell where Satan is trying to find ways to get people not to watch the show. Now, he's using humorous. He's kind of a smart aleck. That's fine. But there are some things in it that are not biblical. For example, at one point, there is a young female demon who decides she likes the show, and the next thing you know, she just kind of ascends up out of hell into this white light, and then Satan has to walk over to the board and basically, number of ascensions this week, and he has to put the 0 up. I mean, it's just a weird kind of quirky way to do it. Is that going too far, is the question. And that's an interesting question to me because the video itself, too, is very well done. It is humorous. It really is. It is. It has some moments that are kind of funny in it. And as you watch it and you hear some of the dialogue, you go, okay, that's witty, well written. But here's where I think it goes off track. And I think this is the thing that I'm hoping that the chosen producers, Dallas Jenkins, will give an account for. And not give an account because they owe it to us, but basically just own it and recognize what they did. The beauty of the chosen, to me, as a pastor, as a teacher, as a follower of God, is that they take what is Scripture and they take the life of Christ and they give you some sanctified imagination. But nothing that they do in the series, at least to this point, has gone against the Christ and the story of Jesus that we find in Scripture. And so what they're doing is they're enhancing it. They're giving us some extra dialogue. They're giving us some additional information. They're giving us a different feel. But at the same time, they're staying true to what is Scripture, and they're not doing anything in it that undercuts where Scripture is taking us. The problem with the video is that the chosen breaks its rules. Because in the video, the chosen breaks its rule by giving us an image of hell that, of course, again, that can be imagination, there's no doubt about it, and it can be humorous because hell can be terrifying, and I understand if you're trying to reach a non-church crowd, why not make it a little bit more humorous? But at the end of the day, the theology goes off cue when you have someone that can actually ascend from hell, apparently to go to heaven. And that moment, the chosen has broken its own rules of how to tell the story. Now, whether the actual writers that normally write the chosen put that together, whether or not another company did it, or whatever, that's where it goes off track. And that's where, if you're trying to reach an unchurched crowd, then helping them to understand that that's not what hell is like is really, really important. And I'm not sure just letting it sit out there without some kind of explanation really does that. And so I think that they could have left that part of the video out. And had they left that part of the video out, to be honest with you, it probably would have been a lot better. At least for me, it would have been a lot easier to watch, and I probably would have enjoyed it just as much. It was an unnecessary error that they made, because when you're in hell, you don't leave hell, and you don't get to come out of hell. And so at that point, I think the chosen did break its own rules, and they did something that wasn't necessary for the sake of marketing. And so, I'm split. I like it on one hand. I like the approach. I give them style points for that. I think it's edgy. I'm not going to say it's cool, but it's pretty edgy. The video itself, wildly entertaining and funny, and will make you laugh. And I think one of the greatest things that we can do to Satan is mock him, because it drives him nuts. And when we think of Satan, the one thing he doesn't like to be is mocked and laughed at. And so I think the video does that, and I think that does it very, very well. And I think that's something that, again, stays true to the storytelling approach. I think where they got off cue a little bit is the way some of these demons react, and these occupants of hell, well, one of them doesn't have to stay. I know it's a spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen the video yet, it's 4 minutes. You can go see it. It's coming in it. And so I think from that standpoint, they'll give an account. I think it's a miscue. I think with the reaction they've gotten, they probably won't do anything like this again, or they won't do anything like this again without letting somebody know a little bit more about it before they do it. And so that's where we are. Easter's coming. The new season of The Chosen is coming. New episodes are on the way. And all the Chosen fans are upset, but then some are cheering it because they think it's great. I don't know where you are in it. I've explained where I'm in it. I'm just firmly in the middle of the road. Of course, we're doing a study on Revelation. That doesn't work either because I'm kind of lukewarm about it. So, but again, that's just where I am. And so join us for more episodes of the Church of 434 in Motion. You can ask Jeff, but we got all sorts of other programs available out there. And by all means, watch The Chosen. Don't let their little video mess you up. Don't even go to the website if you're not interested, because The Chosen is a quality way of getting to know the story of Jesus. Look forward to joining you next time on Ask Jeff.